Once upon a time, in a quiet little village at the edge of a forest, there lived a widow and her two daughters. The elder girl, Clarice, was proud and sharp like her mother, but the younger, sweet Marianne, had a heart as gentle as the morning sun. Their home was small. Ivy climbed up its stone walls, and wildflowers danced in the garden Marianne cared for every day. Though the cottage was humble, it smelled of rosemary and thyme, and in the evenings the setting sun made it glow like gold. But peace didn't live there for long, because kindness and jealousy shared one roof. Clarice was spoiled by her mother, always praised, always dressed in ribbons and lace, even when there was hardly any bread on the table. Marianne, on the other hand, wore simple mended dresses and worked from dawn till dusk, fetching water, cooking, cleaning, tending the fire. Still, she never complained. Her heart stayed soft. Her mother would often scold her. "Stop daydreaming, Marianne. You'll never be anything but a servant." But Marianne would only smile and whisper to herself, "Being kind is better than being proud." One hot summer afternoon, the sun shone fiercely on the fields. The widow realised there was no water left in the house. "Marianne," she ordered, "go to the well beyond the orchard. The big one. Take the largest jug and don't dawdle." It was a long, dusty walk, nearly a mile, but Marianne obeyed quietly. By the time she reached the old stone well, her arms ached and her hair stuck to her forehead. She filled her jug carefully and sat for a moment to rest. Then she heard a voice, soft and trembling. "My dear child, might I trouble you for a sip of water?" Marianne turned and saw an old woman leaning on a stick, her face tired from the heat. "Oh, of course, ma'am," said Marianne kindly. "You must be so thirsty." She washed her jug, filled it again with fresh water, and helped the old woman drink. The woman smiled, and suddenly her eyes began to sparkle, like starlight in a dark sky. "You have a kind heart, my dear," she said softly. "Few people help others so willingly." Before Marianne could answer, the old woman shimmered and changed, her ragged cloak turning to silver mist, her hair glowing like moonlight. She was no ordinary woman. She was a fairy. "For your kindness, child, I bless you. From this day forth, every word you speak shall bring forth a flower or a jewel, a mirror of your gentle heart." And with a wave of her hand, she disappeared like a wisp of cloud. Marianne stood in wonder, her heart full of gratitude. She lifted her jug and hurried home. When she arrived, her mother was waiting, frowning. "At last! Did you fall asleep at the well? Give me that water." "Oh, sorry, mother," Marianne began. But as she spoke, plink, a diamond fell from her lips, then a rose petal, then a pearl. Clarice gasped, "Mother, look!" Each time Marianne spoke, more jewels and flowers tumbled out. The floor sparkled with colour and light. Her mother's eyes gleamed with greed. "Tell me, child, how did this happen?" Marianne told the story, and with every gentle word the room filled with treasure. The widow gathered the jewels in her apron, whispering, "We'll be rich." "Clarice, you must go to that well and do exactly what your sister did." Clarice wrinkled her nose. "Walk all that way?" "In this heat." But when she saw the glittering pile, her greed won. "Fine, I'll go." So off she went, muttering crossly all the way. When she reached the well, the same fairy appeared, this time looking like a beautiful princess. "Good day, dear child," said the fairy kindly. "Might I trouble you for a sip of water?" Clarice huffed. "I didn't come here to serve strangers." "If you're thirsty, draw your own water." The fairy's eyes saddened. "Then you shall be rewarded according to your heart." And with that, she vanished. Clarice stomped home, annoyed and sweaty. When her mother saw her, she rushed forward. "Well, did you meet the lady? Some silly woman asked for water and I told her, 'Ribbit!' A toad leapt from her mouth, then another and another. Each angry word she spoke brought frogs and snakes tumbling out. The mother screamed, "Stop it! You've cursed yourself!" But Clarice couldn't stop. Every mean word became a creature, the house filled with croaking and hissing. In despair, the mother turned on Marianne. "This is your fault! Get out of my house!" Marianne wept quietly but obeyed, walking into the forest as the sun began to set. Down the road came a royal carriage drawn by white horses. Inside sat a young prince returning from a hunt. When he saw Marianne walking alone, he stopped. "Young lady, are you in trouble?" "No, my lord," she said softly. "Only sorrow." As she spoke, lilies and diamonds fell gently from her lips. The prince stared in wonder. What magic is this? He spoke kindly with her and soon realized her heart was as lovely as her gift. He brought her to the palace, where she met the king and queen. When she greeted them, jewels rolled across the marble floor and everyone gasped in awe. The prince knelt before her. "If she will have me, father, let her be my bride." And so it was. Marianne became queen, gentle, humble, and loved by all. Wherever she spoke, flowers bloomed and hearts grew kinder. As for Clarice, she wandered the woods, lonely and bitter, until even her voice was lost among the frogs near the old well. Her mother, left with her greed, found no joy, for riches mean nothing when love is gone. But the kingdom of the gentle queen blossomed like